Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, the Ninja Reviewer, here to review Dragon Ball Super Episode 31 review. Now, this episode we actually got some progression in this episode compared to last week's episode, where it was just a whole bunch of freaking recap, which was unnecessary, ridiculous recap from last week, which, oh my god, like, I couldn't take it. Like, come on, this is not One Piece here. Like, this is like original content material. We don't need so much fucking recap in one episode, Toei. The fuck? So, that episode was thrown out the window. Thank God this episode had more progression, which even though it had some progression, it was kind of more lighthearted when it comes to the comedy, which the comedy in this episode is actually pretty funny, especially when it revolves Jacko and Bulma, which actually made this episode quite funny and hilarious most of the time. But we did get some progression when it comes to the overall story. So it turns out that instead of just basically using the Super Dragon radar, apparently Jacko has a suggestion to actually because he knows someone that can actually find that can actually know everything and a whole bunch of stuff revolving around the universe, because he is the knowledge of all that is around the universe. His name is Zuno, and basically you have to go to him to answer certain questions he knows about the universe, because he's the only one that pretty much knows almost about everything. So what happens is that Jacko pretty much is like, alright, well, because, you summoned me here, and since I can't really do nothing about, patrolling and getting the Dragon Balls for you, because that's like way out of my league, out of the galaxy, way out of the league of different universe, it's completely fucking hopeless for me. However, when it comes to this particular episode, when it comes to Jacko, sorry, the alarm thing was going off, which is weird. Anyways, so when it comes to actually to that, apparently since it was too far to reach for Jacko, he's like, alright, let's go see it. And apparently Bulma has to go with her, because just in case, to get information. And this is actually pretty funny, because apparently there's a lot of perviness when it comes to Jacko. He's kind of reminded me a lot like Oolong, but more in like an alien form, which is actually pretty funny. So anyways, when it comes to that, so what happens is that pretty much because like, and it's kind of funny because Jacko keeps making all these jokes that like alright, here's the thing, okay? Here's one downside that kind of hurts for this episode a bit, and it's the goddamn translations, man. The translation subs for this episode was fucking horrible. Like, oh my god, like, there are some sentences that sound like they didn't make any sense. Now, listen, I'm not here to judge. I know subtitles, translating Japanese material, whether it be from anime or from a movie, etc. I get that it's hard. I know it's not an easy job. I know it's hard to actually come close to the original material's language. And I get it. It's a really hard thing to do. But this is why I prefer Funimation to actually get fucking licensing from it. And I'm not saying that Funimation is bad. I'm saying that Toei needs to stop being fucking assholes and let them fucking get the damn licensing. Like, what is taking them so long to license this shit? I don't give a damn whether it be dubbed or stimulcast and subtitles. I don't give a damn, because at least it'll be accurate. These translations were like all over the fucking place, and there were some times during the actual voiceovers, the syncing, there was no dialogue. There was no fucking dialogue. I'm like, what? I mean, dialogue mean there was no text going on with the words, and then it skips. Like, and then there's like commas and question marks. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh. And it's not Kiss Anime's fault either, because I did look on their site, and it's the same thing. Both sites have the same translators. And when I looked at the little commercial break things, like the eye catchers is what they're called, I've noticed that during that you'll see at the bottom who's the translator, and it's this dude named Dexter Fox, I believe it's a translator, whoever the fuck Dexter Fox is, he needs to step his A game up, because those translations were just horrific. I couldn't even watch most of it because this is why I'm really hoping Funimation, please get this shit on lockdown. I really need to get a better translation out of this. Because hey, if they can translate and get shows like fucking like Assassination Classroom, Dimension W, which I heard was actually a pretty good anime. I haven't checked it out yet, but there is going to be an English dub coming out on Toonami, which surprisingly I thought was going to be just dub simulcast, but apparently it's going to be on Toonami, which that's going to be pretty cool. So maybe it'll bring in some sales. I heard it was actually a pretty unique, awesome show, like Darker Than Black, but more action packed and awesome. But I might check it out when the dub comes out, but I don't know. So that's a series I'm going to miss out on. I apologize. Since there is going to be an English dub, maybe I'll check it out. If it interests me. Maybe. But anyways, this ain't about Dimension W, okay? This is more about Dragon Ball Super. So getting off track here, let me get back to what I was saying. So basically, and Vegeta, I kind of know, also gets a bit jealous in this episode. I'm like, ooh. He gets a little salty that he says, like, don't try anything funny with Bulma. And Jacko is like kind of, or not anything funny but weird with Bulma, because he kind of has this thing where it's like, now he's starting to get to the point where he realizes that, oh shit, now I'm starting to get these jealous sort of feelings. This is what, you know, being married is like and stuff like that. And then he says the line, I guess this is part of the original translation, but it was kind of funny. Vegeta says that we as Saiyans have Saiyan blood, but what makes women strong is their character or something like that. They just have a stronger character. That's what makes them women. And then Piccolo, and it was funny too, because then Piccolo had that face with the little shocked jaw drop thing, and he hits, you know, the thing where he does this when he pounds it. He's like, aha, like that kind of face. And that was kind of fucking funny. It's like, aha, now I'm starting to get women now. And it's like, it is funny as hell, dude. Like, oh my god. Like, the expression of that shit from Piccolo was mad fucking funny. But regardless, though. So we finally get there, and apparently he says something about, like, what I was mentioning before, that she's kind of a bit more different bust or different maturity level compared to when she was a kid. Because when she was a kid, she was carefree, she was a genius, she didn't care. Because apparently when it comes to, apparently Bulma knew Jacko even since she was a little girl, which was kind of interesting to know. So how the fuck old is Tights? Because Tights looks pretty much really older, and she even looks pretty much the same compared to like years ago from the flashback, and it's weird. So I'm guessing that could either be Tights or that could be Bulma's mother when she was like really, really younger. I could be wrong, but I'm not something like this so sure. It's like, holy shit. So she knew this intergalactic dude from years ago when she was a little girl, and we didn't even realize that? That's kind of like weird, but you know, there are some things I guess Toriyama didn't have time to explain, and now we got it. So apparently, you know, especially because he was talking about her boob size and stuff like that. Her boobs are a little saggier now. But that again, she's like what now? Like in her mid-30s, so it would kind of make sense in some degree. But you know, she still looks pretty young. She still looks pretty hot. She's got the big ass boobs growing and stuff like, and shit like that. So yeah, so you know, he was kind of, you know, curious, and of course, Jacko becomes the official punching bag for Bulma. So then we finally reach there where we finally get to meet Zuno. And Zuno is one weird looking alien. It looks like an ancient Chinese ritual alien looking thing. And what happens is just basically, you know, they have pretty much the same looking family or clones like gathered around, and it's like you got to make an appointment, and if you don't make an appointment, then we can't obviously see you, and you have to come back within 7 years. And then all of a sudden we see Gakuman, I believe the name was, or the fucking whatever the hell the frog's name was the actual criminal of his true mission. The criminal he's supposed to capture is that frog, and he's been but what makes it funny is that his gimmick is that he would go to restaurants, any kind of restaurant in the galaxy, and he would leave without paying for his meal. That's pretty much the freaking crime that he only committed. And he's been doing that for quite a while. And, you know, it's kind of a running thing, which is kind of funny. But then meanwhile, we see that he's finally there. It's like, oh shit, we have an appointment. And when the frog looked at his uniform, it's like, oh shit, he's the galactic policeman. So then he was trying to play it off, like all cool and stuff. Like they don't really know each other, which is kind of stupid. Then we find out that while he's about to make the appointment with the frog, Jericho's like, wait a minute, hold up. They sees him there like he's about to arrest him. He's like, don't move. I got this dude on lockdown, man. I got him as hostage. And then we see Jericho. It's like, all right, let me get that distance from you. Yeah, that's how much I'm going to need to kick your ass. And then, like, bam, he pretty much does that. You know, they thank him for saving him. Then they finally meet Zuno. And you have to greet him to answer the questions with a kiss on the cheek. That's a weird ritual. Especially for guys. For girls, it's probably no problem. But for guys, ugh. Who the fuck wants to kiss that thing anyway? Ugh. Anyways, we see that Zuno is pretty much there. And, you know, you have to ask at least one question. No. I think the men get one question, I believe. The men get one question. I believe the women get like at least two, if I'm not mistaken. So his question was from Jacko. I was like, what is Bulma's bra size? And we find out that it's grown. It's pretty much grown, but then it's gotten a little, you know, at that age because, you know, she is in her mid-30s. So, you know, she's gotten more bussy and she's pretty much got a little bit, you know, saggy at the same time, so it kind of makes sense. So it's like, damn. So it's like, holy shit. So yeah, so we see that pretty much, you know, Bulma has pretty much changed in her looks and her young and stuff like that. Because that, again, she is like in her mid-30s, so it makes sense that her chest is kind of a bit on that side, but, you know, they're still pretty fresh and they're still young and they're big as hell compared to what years ago. It was funny that we got to know that. Jacko, of course, gets the punching bag. Bulma gets her questions, knowing about the last Super Dragon Ball's location and where it is. And apparently it's supposed to be when two of the universes collide together or some shit like that. I don't know, because it was a running gag also where he was talking like extremely fast. Apparently if you're supposed to put two of the same Dragon Ball sets, I believe, together, and then you have to call on the dragon like in a different way, like in a god's way or something like that. I don't know. It was a bit weird. I was a bit confused. It's kind of funny. It might be the accurate translations, or it could be the guy fucking up again. I don't know. So that's pretty much what we got. So yeah, that's pretty much the progression we got. So now we got the information about the Super Dragon Balls, and that's pretty much it from what I know. And that's it. So the episode for me gets a 4 out of 5. It was a pretty good, much better episode compared to last week's, and it was pretty funny. Next week's episode looks pretty hype for episode 32's preview. Oh my god, the Universe 6 Warriors. Fuck yes, I cannot wait. The one I'm really looking forward to is the Saiyan looking one, and the one that looks like one of the Frieza races. The other dude looks like fucking Winnie the Pooh on steroids. I don't know what the hell is going on with him, but looks pretty cool though. I can't wait for that. So give me guys your thoughts in the comment section below of this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super episode 31. And I'll see you guys next week for Dragon Ball Super episode 32. So this is the Ninja Reviewer signing out. Peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky's the limit. And anime manga fans, keep supporting what you're reading, what you watch, and that's it.